Today we're going to be checking out the Godox KNOWLED 600 bi-color COB LED light. And the three main questions I want to answer is, what is the difference between the daylight and the bi-color version? Which one should you get? And if you want to pay an extra $400 to Aputure, what do you get with that? Hey guys, Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker here, where I try to condense reviews into a short video so you get all the knowledge you need and can be on your way. So the first question here is, what is the difference between the daylight and the bicolor? And basically, the bicolor gives you an option of 2800K to 6500K. The physical body of the bicolor version is actually a little bit larger, but other than that, everything else is exactly the same. You still get a carrying case, you still get the control box, a super clamp to clamp that control box onto a light stand, and of course some power cables that are nice and thick so it can handle the high current. Number two, which one should you get? Well, basically there is a $100 difference between the two lights, and as you can see in this light output chart here, at F16, the 40% gray line, they're basically the same. This is less than a third of a stop. So when it comes to output, you're not actually losing much. So because of that, I would say you might as well spend the extra $100 and get the bicolor version, because you'll have that access to the tungsten color levels, which the color quality is actually quite good according to my tests. And if you ever find yourself being in a mixed light situation, this is definitely going to help you. Now there is one thing I want to mention here. When it comes to the daylight 5600K, you actually have to set it to 6200K if you want it to be completely accurate. And this is not necessarily a big deal because this unit is capable of firmware updates. So Godox, please make an update here so that 5600K on the control box is actually 5600K. There's also similarities when it comes to battery operation on the 600 bicolor, in which case you can only get up to 60% output if you are using two 26-volt Cine batteries. You can't get up to 100%. And if you do decide to charge one of these V-mount batteries through the control box, the side that has the yellow release pin is the one that is capable of charging. Now the last question I want to answer is the Aputure 600X Pro, which comes in at $400 more, has the same bicolored functions, but the main difference and the main advantage you would get for paying that extra $400 is that this is weather sealed. So if you are setting it outside and there's some water and rain that gets onto it, you'll be fine. That is the main advantage going with the Aputure. Some additional advantages is if you already have a lot of high current, high powered Cine batteries, in which case you can actually get 100% output through the Aputure. And if you do decide that you want to use the control box to actually charge the thing, you are able to charge out of both V-mount bays. So what's the bottom line here? The bottom line here is budget, super high powered COB LEDs are coming to the market, and Godox is trying to make sure it's sticking into that budget realm. But not only are you getting high power, you're also going to get some really nice functionality. So it's really nice that they gave you that control box. If the light is up on a high C stand somewhere, you have that control box, or if it's even higher, you can use the smartphone app to control the light wirelessly, which is awesome. And of course, if you know your work never is going to be outside in the rain, then knowing that you have a cheaper budget option that does perform well is definitely welcome. Now, one thing I haven't touched on is the fan that's inside. This is a high-powered COB LED, so of course there's a fan. You do have a couple modes though. You have auto and high, which allows you to get up to 100%. You have a low fan mode, which allows you to get approximately a 300 watt equivalent. And then you have fan off mode, which allows you to get approximately a 120 to 150 watt COB LED. Now, I do want to say that in the fan off mode, the control box does have a fan inside, so if the control box is hot, that fan's going to kick on. I do have some fan tests here for you, so here's what it sounds like from 6 feet away, which is approximately a typical setup. And hey, that is it for this review, everybody. If this has been helpful, I do have some purchase links down below. They are affiliated, so if you do use it, it does help directly support the channel, and I thank you for that. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it down below. I will get to them as fast as I can. This has been TLDR Filmmaker. I will see you guys in the next one.